Good morning, children. As we discussed in the ninth class regarding about the what our Earth and our universe, we have discussed about the weathering, erosion, rocking all. Now we will discuss in the part of India relief features. Today our lesson is what? India relief features. We will discuss about the location of India first of all. Location of India means what? The location of India. Where is it located on the world map? For example, see 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitude, 37 degrees 6 minutes north latitude. And coming to the longitude part is 68 degrees 7 minutes east longitude to 97 degrees 25 minutes east longitude. This is the what we can call as a location of India. And here middle of the country one line is passing through exactly middle of our country. That is called what? Tropic of Cancer. Means 23 degrees north latitude we can call. As well as here if you observe, which we can find one more line is passing through middle of our country, that is called what? Standard meridian, 80 degrees 30 minutes east longitude. It is called also central longitude. What? Central longitude, or we can call it is IST, Indian Standard Time. When you compare to IST and GMT, GMT means what? Greenwich Meridian Time. IST means Indian Standard Time. When you compare to IST and GMT, we have 5.5 hours differences. How much? 5.5 hours difference. The neighboring countries of our Pakistan we can find here: Afghanistan, China, Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar. We can find these all, and down we can find here the what? Sri Lanka. These are the what? Neighboring countries of our country. And India is the 7th largest country in the world as area wise. How much? 7th largest country in the world. How? In area wise. India is 2nd largest populous country in the world. 2nd largest populous country in the world. And we have a different variety climatical conditions, high temperature, low rainfall in like Thar desert. We have these all the difficult which you can find as a variety of in the world wise. Now we'll discuss about the one by one how the geological background was formed. When you compare in the previous as how the universe was formed, how due to the Big Bang theory, or we discuss about the Abbe-George Lamaitre and binary stars theories, we have discussed in the 9th class. Now we'll discuss how these all things happen. The whole world land was having two joint lands. Like that we can find two lands names are what? As a Laurentia, which you can call as a Angara land, or we can call as a Gondwana land. The Indian Peninsular Plateau is come under the part of Gondwana land. Indian Peninsular Plateau is comes under the part of Gondwana land. Owing to the commission and immense of the comprehension of the part, how does the evolution is done? The Himalayas mountains were formed for us. How is all this evolution done? Due to the pressure inside the earth's plate tectonic movements we can find. This is all the process. Now we can find how the Himalayas also formed. The Peninsular Plateau, which we can call as a Indian Peninsular Plateau, which is the part of the Gondwana part, and it has moved to the northeast part and collided to the Eurasia Plateau. Collided to the where? Eurasia Plateau. And later on it has merged, and over 200 million years ago we can find the Himalayas were found for us. Like this, with the help of immense collide of the all the comprehension of rocks, the northern part of the rivers which we can find India as a Indus Ganges plains, or we can call them as a northern plains, which is a very fertile in our country we can find. And later on the southern also found with the peninsular rivers we can find southern rivers. Here, due to the Himalaya rivers and the southern part which we can call as a peninsular rivers, here north part, the North India has found northern plains, and South India has found due to the peninsular rivers. One of the remarkable feature which we can find as the peninsular plateau is the what? The oldest landmass on the earth we can find. The Eurasian plateau which has collided with the northeast part. And how does the Peninsular Plateau or on the part of Gondwana Plateau, and later on how the Laurentia and Angara. Between the Laurentia and Angara we have one sea, that is called what? Tethys Sea. Tethys Sea. For example, it is Laurentia land or Angara land we can call. This is Gondwana land. Between the Laurentia and Angara we can find the what C is Setish. C we can find it is divided in the two parts. As per the Alfred Wegener, he proposed the one theory that is called what? Continental drift theory. Now we are having the what? 7 continents. Before it was only one continent, that is called what? As a Pangea. That is called what? Pangea. It is called what? Supercontinent. And we have one more ocean, super ocean, that is called what? Panther. On the base of these only, how does the continents are formed now for us, and how it has taken some millions of years to form due to the collided earth plate tectonics, movements of these origins, we have discussed in the previous class and now also. Now we'll discuss about the what are the physiographic divisions, how many are there in the Indian relief feature. Six physiographic divisions of India. We will discuss now one by one. What are they? First one is what? Himalayas. Second is Indo-Gangetic Plain. Third is desert, Peninsular Plateau. Next, coastal plains. Last one is islands. We will discuss one by one. The Himalayas. Himalayas, which we can have the 3 parallel ranges for us. How many? We have 3 parallel ranges, which we can call them as a Himadri, Himachal, Shivaliks. Himadri, Himachal, Shivaliks. This will be moved with the 3 parallel ranges in our country. Here, this is called as a Greater Himalayas, we can call them as a Greater Himalayas. To the south of Greater Himalayas is called what? Lesser Himalayas. To the south of Lesser Himalayas we can call it as a Shivaliks. These are the what? 3 parallel ranges are there, which will be run how? To the west to eastern part. West to eastern part in the north-east direction like an arch. It is having 2400 kilometers spread. How many? 2400 kilometers. Having a variation of the elevation height. If you find in the different areas it having a different height, as well as we can find one more here important. See, in some places it is having spread of the kilometers 500 in the western part and central part and the eastern part. Central and eastern part. Some place having 200 kilometer width, in some place having 150 kilometers of the width. Which one? The Himalayas width we can find. Here on the base of this overall it is having 2400 kilometers we can find. We have having how many ranges? 3 ranges are there. One is Greater Himalayas, second is Lesser Himalayas, third is Shivaliks. The Greater Himalayas is also called as what? Himadri. Greater Himalayas is called what? Himadri. Lesser Himalayas also is called what? Himachal. Shivaliks is called what? Outer Himalayas. Shivaliks is called what? Outer Himalayas or foothills of Himalayas. These are the 3 parallel ranges which is having the spread 2400 kilometers overall the Himalayas, and on the base of variation levels it is having a variation of the altitude, means we can call them as a heights. We can call height or altitude same, or we can call elevation. All are same words or meaning. They may be asked in the different words. So the elevation of the height of the Greater Himadri we can find how much? 6100 meters height from the sea level, minimum mean sea level. If you take the Lesser Himalayas, 3700 to 4500 meters height. If you take the Shivaliks, 900 to 1100 meters height. It is a what? Average elevation from the mean sea level. We will discuss one by one. Coming to the Himadri, it is covered complete with the snow of and ice cover, and you can find there what? Glaciers. What we can find in the Himadri? Snow and ice cover. Glaciers you can find here, and accumulation of the seasonal cycles of the what? Which glaciers are melting. It is a cause for the what? Perennial rivers in our country. What do you mean by perennial rivers? Very very important, one more question. Perennial rivers means the rivers which will flow throughout the country, throughout the year, due to the rainfall, as well as melting of snow. So what happened? The rivers throughout the year will be flow due to the rainfall as well as due to the glacier melting or snow melting we can find. That is called what? Perennial rivers, or we can call Himalaya rivers. These rivers are the source for what? The Himadri. Why? Because the glaciers are here found. Snow is and ice also covered completely. Here that we can find the one major where in the Himadri. Next, coming to the part of Himachal or Lesser Himalayas. The on an average, the having the height what? 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters average elevation. Here what we can find? We can find the ranges. What we can find here? Ranges. What type of ranges? Pir Panjal range. What? Pir Panjal range and Mahabharat range. We can find here what? Pir Panjal range and Mahabharat range. Here we can find some part of sedimentary of rocks also we can find. Sedimentary rocks we can find. And next, here we can find few hill stations. For example, Ranikhet, Darjeeling and Nainital, Mussoorie. These type of we can find here hill stations also. One we can find what? Ranges, Pir Panjal range and Mahabharat range. And here we can find what? Hill stations. And you can find here few valleys also. Valleys, very very most important. What? Kulu, Kangra. These type of which we can find in the what here? At the Himachal Pradesh state we can find Kulu Manali, like we can find the Kulu and Kangra valleys we can find. Here we can find ranges, Pir Panjal and Mahabharat range. And here we can find hill stations, Ranikhet and Darjeeling, Nainital, Mussoorie, some etc. Here we can find which is covered with the evergreen forest also. Evergreen forest. Where these all are found in the which range? In the Lesser Himalayas. The on an average height how much? 3,700 to 4,500 meters elevation we can find. Here we can find the what? Ranges, Pir Panjal range and Mahabharat range. And here we can find the what? Few valleys like Kulu Manali and Kangra valleys. And here we can find few hill stations, Ranikhet, Darjeeling and Mussoorie, Nainital, etc. Here it is covered with the evergreen forest. These are the what? They may be asked, write the characteristics of the Lesser Himalayas in our country for 2 more questions. So we have to, don't forget about the what they have mentioned. Ranges here we can find, hill stations we can find, evergreen forest we can find, valleys we can find. And how does it compose? With the metamorphic and the sedimental rocks we can find. Next, the Shivaliks, last one. First one is what? Greater Himalayas, or we can call Himadri. Second is what? Lesser Himalayas and Himachal. Now we will discuss about the Shivaliks. Shivaliks, the foothills of the Himalayas, or we can call outer Himalayas. On an average, what is the height? 900 to 1100 meters elevation we can find here. These are called the different names in the different regions. Which one? The Shivaliks. Through the eastern part of our country, which is moving from the what? Northeast direction, like an arch here. The Shivaliks is called Jammu Hills in Jammu region. Jammu Hills in where? Jammu region. Kachar Hills in Assam. Mishmi Hills in Arunachal Pradesh state. These we can find the variation of the names in the various regions about the what? Shivaliks, which we can call as a outer Himalayas also we can call. Next, the Lesser Himalayas, between the which we can find longitude. The longitude valleys which are situated between the Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks. Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks are called what? Dunes. The longitude valleys which are located between the Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks are called what? Dunes. Example, Dehradun. Example, Dehradun, Patli Dune, Kotli Dune. These are the few examples. They may be asked in examination, define the dunes. They may be asked for 1 mark examination. in examination 1 mark questions. So here the part of the show Alex.
Start.
The northeastern boundary. We will discuss now. Here, which we can call as a Purvanchal. Which is called what? Purvanchal. Here, to the eastern part, the Brahmaputra river is there. Brahmaputra river, due to this only we can find the what? Eastern we can find it as a valleys here. This river, which is having to the eastern part of our country, it is at the beyond the Dihang Valley. Beyond the Dihang Valley from Arunachal Pradesh, it will take a hairpin bend. It will take a hairpin bend. For example, like this, if you take in the India map, from where like Lake Mansarovar at the Tibet place, it will take the place of birth and will enter into the Arunachal Pradesh in the Dihang Valley. It will take the shape of the Brahmaputra river. So like this here, it will be act as the eastern part of boundary. Due to the what? The Brahmaputra river only is acting as the eastern boundary of our country. Due to this only the valleys are forming here in Arunachal Pradesh. Beyond the Dihang Valley, it will take a hairpin bend and it will form as the eastern boundary. It is called what? As a Purvanchal. Purvanchal. These Purvanchal also have the different names in the different regions. For example, Patkai Hills, Naga Hills, Mizo Hills, Manipur Hills, Purvanchal Hills. These Purvanchal Hills are called in the all 7 states. 7 sisters we can call. What are they? 7 sisters means Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura. The 7 states which are called as the 7 sisters, or we can call them as the northeastern states. These all are, it has spread in the Purvanchal Hills are spread in the 7 states. So it is called what as the 7 sisters, or we can call them as the northeastern states also we can call. Coming to the part of Patkai Hills. These Patkai Hills are located in the Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. Where? Assam and Arunachal Pradesh state. Coming to Naga Hills, Nagaland. Mizo Hills, Mizoram. Manipur Hills, Manipur state. So this we can find the one more question. The Purvanchal Hills called in the different states, different names, and the regional wise. Patkai Hills we can call in Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. Naga Hills called in Nagaland. Mizo Hills called in Mizoram. Manipur Hills called in Manipur state. One more question they may be asked in examination about the define the Purvanchal or discuss about the Purvanchal. This is the what about the Himalayas. Now we will discuss about the importance of the Himalayas. Importance of the Himalayas. The Himalayas are acting to us as a barrier to our country. Himalayas are acting for us as a barrier, which is not able to enter the cold wind from the Central Asia to our country. Which one? The cold winds will be never enter. Why? Due to the because of Himalayas only. From where these cold winds are coming? From the Central Asia. So it is acting like a what for us? Wall or barrier for us. Which one? The Himalayas. And if the cold winds will be entered to our country, what could be happen to us? Nothing but due to the cold winds, there will be no northern plains in our country and there will be no glaciers in our country. So this is what we can find. It will be turned complete into the cold desert India. Which one? The North India. North India will be completely turned into the cold desert if the cold winds will be entered to our country. But there is no chance to come to our country because the Himalayas are there. That is why we are unable to find the cold desert. And these Himalayas are the source of perennial rivers in our country. Himalayas are what? Source of perennial rivers. What are they? We can call them big. Brahmaputra, Indus, Ganges. So they may be asked in examination. Explain the big river system in examination. So big means nothing but as a Brahmaputra, Indus, Ganges. These rivers are the source for us. From where? From the Himalayas. If the Himalayas are there only, we are having the what? These three perennial rivers in our country. Due to these perennial rivers, what happened? We got the northern plains. These rivers are going to bring for us silt, very fertile soil, and alluvium soil is going to make a deposit for us, and which we can call Indo-Gangetic plain or Punjab plains, or we can call some other. These all are going to form, which is very fertile for the agriculture sector in our country, especially for what? It is a very prosperous for what? Agriculture sector. And these are also helping for us in what purpose? To earning the foreign currency, to attract the what? Tourism, which we have discussed. Due to the Himalayas, we have what? Ranikhet, Nainital, Darjeeling, Mussoorie, Shimla. These are all the what? Hill stations. So when we have, they are going to come into us to attracting the foreigners. These are helping to earning the what? Foreign currencies and development of the in our country economically and economic growth also. And next, Himalayas are the cause of monsoon type of climate. What type of climate? Monsoon type of climate. And these are the cause for summer rains also. These are the cause for what? Summer rains also. These are the importance. And how does the Himalayas influence on the climate of India? How does the Himalayas influence on the Indian agriculture? Our Himalayas are acting the crown of our country. They may be asked for us in examination 4-mark question. So that is important. Himalayas are going to act for as a barrier which the cold winds are not able to enter from the Central Asia. If the cold winds will be enter, what could be happen? The India could be turned complete as a cold desert, or we can find they are unable to grow the any crops. If the Himalayas are not there, no perennial rivers. If there are no rivers, what will happen? No northern place, no silt and no alluvial soils, and there is no agriculture sector in the North India. Complete will be turned into the what? Like a cold desert. Next, these are the cause for what? Monsoon type of climate, and this is the cause for summer rainfall also. And these are going to make earning the lot of development foreign currency to the attracting the tourism with the which where from the hill stations, Ranikhet, Nainital, Darjeeling, Mussoorie, Shimla, like that we having a few. This is the what influence and the importance of the Himalayas. If the Himalayas are not there, what could be happen means we can write this all the what in the negative points. If the Himalayas are not there, the cold winds will be entering to our country and India could be turned completely the cold desert. If the Himalayas are not there, no perennial rivers. If the rivers are not there, no northern plains. If the northern plains are not there, no agricultural sector. If the Himalayas are not there, no summer rains, no monsoon type of climate, no hill station. These all we can find, we can write in the examination. This is the importance of the influence of the Himalayas on Indian agriculture or climate of India we can find. Second one, Indo-Gangetic plains. The first one we discussed just now, the Himalayas, Himadri, Himachal, Shivaliks. Now the second one, Indo-Gangetic plains. The Indo-Gangetic plains can be classified into 3 parts. How many? 3 parts. One is western part, second is central part, third is eastern part. Indo-Gangetic plains. Western part comes which one? Indus River. Which one? Indus River. The major part will be flowing in the Pakistan country, major in our country from some areas like Punjab and Haryana. Where? Punjab, Haryana. These are what minor portion of our country. The western part completely the Indo-Gangetic plains are formed by the Indus River only. What are the tributaries of the Indus River? What are the tributaries of the Indus River? Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, Satluj. These are the 5 tributaries of the Indus River. These Indus River are flowing majorly where in the Pakistan country, minorly in our country where in the Punjab and Haryana. The western part is completely on this river only. On this tributaries we have constructed a very big dam which we can call as a Bakra Nangal Dam, where in the Himachal Pradesh state in the Simla we can find that one. Next, the western part are formed by the Indus River. Coming to the central part. Central part is what? Ganges River. Ganga River. Here the Ganga river, which is formed due to the two glaciers which we can find as a Sarponath glacier and next we can find as a Gangotri glacier. By these two are forming at the Devaprayaga as a Ganga river, where the Ganga will be formed at the where Devaprayaga. Till that time we are unable to say it is a Ganga river, having the two glaciers are going to form as a flowing, and these two glaciers going to form at which place? Devaprayaga as a what? Ganga river. The Ganga is going to make the central part. Majorly it is flowing where? Uttar Pradesh state and Bihar. Major where? In our country, Uttar Pradesh state and Bihar. Some we can find in Jharkhand state and some Haryana part. Some it is going to make in the part of minor part. What are the tributaries of Ganga river? We can find which one? One is Yamuna, Gandak, Kosi, Son. These are the we can find some tributaries. From Gagra to Teesta river, which is having spread in the Ganga river in our country, which is the largest river in our country, we can call which one as a Ganga river, which 2525 kilometers of the length in our country. How much? 2525 kilometer. Longest river also we can call the Ganga only. Largest also we can call Ganga. It is a what? Comes under the part of perennial system, or we can call them as a Himalaya river system we can find. And here we should find one more important, Doab. What is the concept of Doab? D-O-A-B. Doab, if you divide the D-O and A-B, Doab means two, Ab means water. The fertile land, which one? The fertile land situated between the two rivers is called what as a Doab. The fertile land which is situated between the two rivers is called what? Doab we can find. This is the one more important concept of the Doab. And here on the Ganga river, after completing the central part is completed by the Ganga river, here we can find the rivers which is flowing through the eastern part along with the foothills of the Shivaliks. With the kilometer, it will be carry some sediments, it will carry small pebbles, it will carry small silt also. While carrying these all things, it will take some 8 to 16 kilometers. 8 to 16 kilometers along with the foothills of Shivaliks. Along with the foothills of Shivaliks. That is called what? Babar. That is called what? Babar. Not Mughal Empire Babar, it is separately Babar. It is very it is in the porous nature. In what type of nature? Porous in nature. How? The Himalaya rivers which is flowing through along with the which it is carrying the what? Sediments, small pebbles and silt. And along with it is not able to carry, it will be deployed in one place. While flowing the river, it will take the 8 to 16 kilometer with the narrow belt and the foothills of the Shivaliks. That is feature is called what? Babar. It is a very porous in nature. We have one more that is called what as a Terai. A swampy, marshy region. Swampy, marshy region is called what? Terai. One is Babar, important concept about the one mark question. Second is what? Terai. What do you mean by Terai? Nothing but swampy, marshy region is called what? Terai. And next we have one more two important. One is Bangar. Second is Khadar. Old alluvium soil is called what? Bangar. New alluvium soil is called what? Khadar. Old alluvium soil is called what? Bangar. New alluvium soil is called what? Khadar. Terai means what? Swampy, marshy region is called what? Terai. It is having always wet the land. There will be never will be dry the land. It is having like a wet, completely wet. And next, Babar means old alluvium soil. Khadar means new alluvium soil. The Babar we discussed. Then last one is what? Eastern part, which we can waiting for about the what? Brahmaputra river. Eastern part is called what? Brahmaputra river, which is having the tributaries of the what? Dihang and Lohit. We can call that one Brahmaputra river, which is forming where in the eastern boundary of our country. The eastern part is completely responsibility by the what? Brahmaputra river. We discussed just now. One is western part, second is central part, third is western parts come under the Indus river, central parts come under the Ganga river, eastern parts come under the Brahmaputra river. which is forming the what for as a eastern part of completely boundary for our country. Here the rivers of the tributaries what we can call here as a Lohit, Dibang, or we can call them as a Dihang. These are the two tributaries, and completely every year without, it will be never go to without the as a floods, especially Assam and Andhra Pradesh. We have in the Assam state Majoli. Majoli is the largest riverine island in the world. Due to the Brahmaputra river only, it has created. It is a very important for NTS bit. Those who are writing NTS aspirants. Majoli is the largest riverine island in the world. Due to the Brahmaputra river, it is formed in our country in the where Assam state we can find. There is a one more important. What are the? It is going to act as the eastern border of our country. The eastern part of valley is forming due to the which river means Brahmaputra river only. And what are the tributaries? Lohit and Dibang we can call, or sometimes we can call Dihang also. And which is you can find one more important. Majoli is the largest riverine island in the world we can find. And next, here we can find the one more important concept. Terai we discussed just now. Means swampy and marshy region we discussed. As we know about the Indian partition, the India has divided into two parts, Pakistan and India in the 1947 year. So most of the immigrations and peoples came to our country, and our country people has went to that countries. Those who came to our country, most of the Terai zone has make the deforestation. Make what here as a deforestation. To what purpose? To making the what? Agriculture practicing here. And it is also having the which? Thick gravel and alluvium soil also to grow the crops. Here we can find the Terai is having one more important. It has started the what for us as a agriculture operations in our country. And here one more concept: the narrow steep valleys. Narrow steep valleys are there in which state? Sikkim. Which state we are? This we can locate it here. See, the narrow steep valleys are located in the Sikkim state. And one more important concept: Mokdok Dimpet Valley. Mokdok Dimpet Valley. It is located in which state? Means Meghalaya state. Both are one mark question or multiple choice question. They will be asked in examination. Mokdok Dimpet Valley is located in which state? Meghalaya state. The narrow steep valley is located in which state? Sikkim state. This is about our topic. Till now we discussed about the Himadri, Himachal and Shivalis, and Indo-Gangetic plains, about the Indus river, Ganga river, and next what? Brahmaputra river. And we discussed about the importance of the Himalayas. How does the Himalayas are influence on our country, on Indian agriculture and climate of?
Welcome to the chapter India Relief Features. This slide presents the overview of the chapter. The major relief divisions of India are the Himalayas, the Peninsular Plateau, the Thar Desert, the Indo-Gangetic Plain, the coastal plains, the islands. Now, let us study about the location of India on the globe. Now let us study about the relief division, the Himalayas, in detail. The Himalaya mountains are the highest mountain in the world. The name Himalaya means abode of the snow. It is a mountain range in Asia which separates the plains of the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau. The Himalayas are spread across India, China, Nepal, Bhutan, and Pakistan. The Himalayan ranges run in the west-east direction in the form of an arc with 2,400 kilometers of distance. The width of these ranges varies from 500 kilometers in the western regions to 200 kilometers in central and eastern regions. Following are the three parallel ranges of Himalayas: Greater Himalayas or Himadri, Lesser Himalayas or Himachal, Shivaliks. Now it's time to know about each range in detail. Let us begin our learning with Himadri range.
Click each tab to know more.
Himadri. The northernmost range is called as Greater Himalayas or Himadri. It consists of highest peaks with an average elevation of 6,100 meters above sea level. It is composed of snow and ice cover. Glaciers can also be found here. The water from these Himalayas is the source to the perennial rivers. Let us now learn about the Himachal ranges. Himachal. The part of range which is found south of the Himadri is called as Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. The height of these mountains ranges from 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. These ranges mostly contain compressed rocks and hence have the rugged relief. The lesser Himalaya ranges include the famous valley of Kashmir and the Kangra and Kulu in Himachal Pradesh. The region, which is quite famous for hill stations like Simla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet, etc. The Birpanjal and Mahabharata ranges are the most important ranges of this region. Let us now learn about the Shivalik ranges. Shivaliks. Shivaliks are the southernmost ranges of the Himalayas. Their width ranges from 10 kilometers to 50 kilometers, whereas the altitude varies between 900 meters and 1100 meters. Different names are given to these ranges in different regions. In Jammu, Jammu Hills; in Arunachal Pradesh, Mishmi Hills; in Assam, Sachar.
The valleys lying between the Lesser Himalayas and Shivalik ranges are called as duns. Examples: Dehra Dun, Kotli Dun, and Patli Dun.
Now, let us discuss another important relief feature of India, that is the Indo-Gangetic Plain.
The Indo-Gangetic Plains is also called as the North Indian River Plain. It is a large and fertile plain covering most of northern and eastern India.
The formation of northern plain is a result of the interaction of the three Himalayan rivers Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra and their tributaries.
Almost 20 million years ago, it was a shallow basin. But as time passed by, it got filled with various alluvial soils which were brought by these rivers from the Himalayas.
The Indo-Gangetic Plains are of three parts. They are the western part, the central part, the eastern part.
Let us learn more about each of these parts. Click each tab to know more.
This part was formed by the river Indus and its tributaries, that is, the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, and the Satluj. The Indus River basin is largely located in Pakistan, excluding a little portion of Punjab and Haryana plains in India. This region has the do-up features, that is, the features of land between two diverging or converging rivers.
The central part. It is called as the Ganga Plain. It extends from the rivers Gaghara to Teesta. It is spread across the states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Haryana, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. It is the place where rivers like Ganga, Yamuna merge and get distributed into their tributaries Sone, Kosi, etc. The eastern part. The eastern part mainly exists in the Brahmaputra Valley of Assam. Apart from forming the Indo-Gangetic Plains, the rivers flowing from the Himalayas cause deposition of gravel and pebble sediments, leading to the formation of a narrow belt. This belt is situated parallel to the foothills of Shivaliks and extends between 8 km to 16 km in length. The belt region can be studied under the names of Bhabhar and Terai. The Bhabhar Belt, a belt which is adjacent to the foothills of the Himalayas and consists of boulders and pebbles. The Bhabhar is a narrow belt of 8 km to 16 km wide. The Terai Belt, a belt which lies next to the Bhabhar region and is composed of newer alluvium.
The region is mostly moist with thick forest as it is swampy and marshy.
It receives heavy rainfall throughout the year and includes a wide variety of wildlife.